hello. We'd like to welcome everybody to a chance and a
Choice
choice.
for the people, by the people. How y'all doing this morning?
Indeed.
It's Wednesday. It's hump day. So we want to go try to speed this hump day up, feel good about the hump day. We know everybody dragging around right now.
Right.
Oh, I got another 2 days for Saturday, for Friday. Friday coming. But today we here with a topic today, and we got a guest.
Special guest.
The topic is a debt you can never repay.
Yep. And we have also welcoming to the show our extreme colleague, life brother.
Extreme colleague.
The extreme.
Extreme.
A prolific individual unto himself. I'm gonna let him introduce himself.
Well, first of all, man, let me say thanks to Smoking Bat, man, and I'm also gonna tell you as an extreme colleague, I'm extremely proud of you brothers, man.
Man, thank you.
In your community, man. So for the radio listeners, my name is Anthony Witherspoon, recently now known as Kofi Chini Asasia, in my African home.
Tell them what happened, man. Go ahead and tell them what happened.
What you mean, what happened?
How you
Well, yeah, so I know these guys from back, you know, we all come from the same source, man.
Same background.
Same background.
But I got one thing to ask you. I just want to say this.
Yeah.
All of us been incarcerated.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
All of us been incarcerated.
Yeah. So, you know, in fact, you know, I met Smoke back in 1996
Right.
in Rankin County while we was doing time in Rankin County. And, you know, they told me they want me to come on and tell this story because, you know, they using their lives, and I'm proud of that. The scriptures say, let the redeemed of the Lord say so, you know.
Right.
And so they using their stories to try to get these youngsters, you know, to hear, you know, how to not give up, you know, no matter how far down you've been, know that with God all things are possible. So
Indeed.
we share the same story. We all done time, we all been in the streets, and Smoke is a witness, can bear witness to me that it's all about how you utilize that time. Because when I wasn't beating them up in chess back then, I was in the books, man. I was in the books. I was preparing myself.
Hey, Smoke said you was cheating on Jeff.
You know,
So you watched the episode before then. You know all the answers.
I still had some street in me now.
So
I went through it. So I whooped him up in Jeopardy because of the earlier episode. You know, while he was at work, I watched the earlier episode.
He
Get all the
ended
answers.
up answering questions when Vasco da Gama and Roman.
Look, you like, how you know that?
Yeah.
He gave people what else? He cheated.
That's right. But yeah, man, but it's all about how you utilize that time, man. And I spent most of my time in there preparing on me, first of all, you know, and learning how to, you know, practice discipline and practice patience, man, and being true to yourself.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because if you don't never get true with yourself, bro, and start critiquing yourself and being honest about, you know, the things that you know you're doing wrong and need to do better on, you'll never make a change. So that's one of the things that I did. And so, long story short, I decided after actually being inside, man, and working in the law library, looking at the laws, I said, you know what? I see that my particular charge still allow me to run for public office. And I get out, I'm running for mayor. And
If you don't mind.
Yeah.
Could you tell me what your particular charge was?
Manslaughter.
Manslaughter.
Yeah, I was charged with murder in 1992. I was being investigated for a murder and an aggravated assault, but it was actually a self-defense charge, man, to be honest. But, you know, as God would have it, you know, it was just time for me to do some time.
How much time did you do?
I was sentenced to 20 years. I got out. Matter of fact, me and this brother got out in the same month, the same year.
Right.
And everybody probably thought that was fixed because we were so tight,
you
know, in there. But I did 6.5 on that 20 before I made parole, and you know, and then got out, started doing community work with the NAACP, became the vice president of the state NAACP, chair of the criminal justice committee there, working ACLU,
Right, yeah.
and their criminal justice program. Later became the mayor of my city.
The
You know.
mayor. Did y'all hear that?
Yeah.
Say that
Man,
again.
man, what city now?
Magnolia, Mississippi, Pike County, man.
Right on.
He
man.
became the mayor.
Shout out to Pike County.
And,
See?
and from there, continued, went back to school, got my bachelor's degree. Well, started with my associate degree and my bachelor's degree.
Right.
Then my master's degree in public administration. And then from D.I. Love, Jackson State University.
Go Tigers, that's what I'm talking about. Go Tigers.
That's when I
We winning.
was blessed to achieve the PhD, you know,
Right.
and receive the title of doctor
Right.
with a spoon. So
You know, right.
it's all blessings.
How did me and you meet?
Most High. Yeah, so me and Bat met on a couple occasions, man. When I was working at the ACLU for one, for starters, when y'all probably remember, everybody in Jackson remember when Bat was going through his ordeal.
Yeah,
You
right.
know, in the media and with the former mayor, you know, Frank Melton. So I was criminal justice director of the ACLU at that time, and Bat came and paid us a visit, and we assisted him with some things. But then when I saw Bat again, I think it was 2000.
2000,
Probably was at Fair.
Faye out between 2010 and 2019.
Yeah, about So
So it
I
had to be
want
about
to say
2015?
yeah, probably about
2016,
2000.
something like that?
Yeah, 2015 or
15,
16. Because
yeah.
I was the mayor.
Right,
And I was
right.
elected in 2014. And so from time to time, the warden.
Right, I was
prison
trustee,
called me
yeah.
down there.
Working in the gym.
Yeah, to speak to.
Shout out, coach.
Yeah, that's right.
Shout out KO,
Yeah,
Ward KO.
Warden KO, man, my guy. You know, he really knows how to run a system.
Yes, he do.
And everybody
learned
don't know
a
how
lot.
to do that.
I learned a lot from him.
Right.
I really got close to that fella in the capacity that he was having, because I've never been close to a warden or
Right.
anybody like that. I always was on the opposing side.
Right,
And
right.
to know you going to a situation and a man can come to you and talk to you in such ways that he did and
Right,
touch your
right.
soul and heart.
That's right.
He made me feel a certain different way in that prison.
That's
man.
right. He made you feel like somebody.
Somebody,
'Cause
right.
We don't get that
Right.
when we go in certain camps.
I knew sometimes he could have just did what he wanted to do.
That's
Did
right.
what he wanted to do. He
That's
could have
right.
did it with a shrivel of a pen.
That's right.
But he didn't.
Right.
You know, he said they talked to me working. I stayed there almost 8 years.
Right.
The whole 8 years right up
Yeah.
there.
And the most of my time there, you know, it was pretty peaceful, man.
Right,
because,
right.
you know, you gotta have understanding when you got different organizations, man.
Right.
All in one zone, small zone.
That's
There's
right.
gotta be some extreme understanding,
It's-
or it could be some
it-
extreme
Hey,
chaos.
I made a point to say this. I was going live on Facebook one day, and I said, look, man, if people in prison can sit at a table and come up with a solution, and they could get along, I know these people in the free world can do the same thing.
That's right. And you know, coming from being a politician, man, and being the mayor of the city, I could tell you there was times that I could think about how we
Mhm.
self-govern the zone, bro. And we
Right.
did a better job than some of the
The
politicians
police.
out here, man.
See,
To be
that's what I'm
honest.
talking about.
And you know,
Right.
I mean, Smoke could tell you, we ran a long streak in Rankin County with no violence on the zone or nothing, man,
Right.
for years, man.
Right.
And you got guys in here, man, with murder charges and aggravated assault charges,
Rape charge,
affiliated,
everything,
yeah,
all that.
and I mean, 120 of us stacked into a small little
Zone,
area,
yeah,
right,
yeah.
to go 2 years, bro,
Yeah.
without any, you know,
Yeah.
real violence on the
Let me
zone.
ask you this.
Yeah.
With a spoon, I call you spoon. Can
Yeah,
I call you
yeah,
spoon?
absolutely.
Spoon, let me ask you this. Doing all what you did, do you feel like your debt has to be, not you, but do you feel like the people? Because you probably, I feel like my debt is paid to society.
Right.
But do you feel like, through other eyes, that your debt is paid to society?
No, man. Let me tell you, and I need to make something clear. I'm still a convicted felon. I didn't get an expungement. I didn't get a pardon from the governor. There was just a loophole in the law that allowed me, you know, to run for office, man. And right now, as you know, Mississippi does not, and a lot of states in the United States, does not allow every person who's been convicted of a felony to vote.
Right.
And I think, you know, but you still gotta pay taxes though, right?
Right.
And so that really defies the principle of no taxation without representation, right?
Right.
And that's what this whole country was founded on.
Founded on,
The
right.
Boston Tea Party was when they went and acted a fool
Right.
with the motherland of England
Right.
at that time,
Right.
because they, and in fact, they was a bunch of criminals.
Right.
That's who they
Yeah.
sent here.
Tell the
right?
truth.
A bunch of criminals.
Yeah,
and
all the
everything,
worst,
right?
all the
Right,
worst,
all the worst of
disease, all
them, right?
that, yeah.
And so these folks, they started cutting up and acting a fool because they were still having to pay taxes.
Right.
You know what I'm saying, to the motherland of England,
Right.
but they didn't have no voice in England.
Right.
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 So
Go ahead.
now, the foundation that this country was built upon, to show you how hypocritical it is. Now they do the same to our folks
Right.
who have done their time,
Right.
paid their debt to society. But when you get out, you got all these collateral consequences.
Yeah,
you
you-
can't vote. You don't qualify for
Man.
public housing.
Certain
You gotta
jobs,
check
man,
the
you
box.
go
You
there
gotta
and
check the box. Yeah,
You go
yeah.
there and they make
You know?
you sign a form
Mhm.
to work for 7 cents, and if you don't work for that 7 cents, they give you more time.
That's right.
And you can't get the same job that you
Right.
qualify for, and the leader of it in prison, you come
Right.
out here and you can't even get the same
One
job.
of the
Same
first,
job.
one of the first legislation I passed as mayor of the city of Magnolia
Right.
was to ban the box.
Right.
When I
Box
pulled the
ban.
application,
Right.
the job application, I saw it had on there, have you ever
Why
been
don't you
convicted
explain
of a
to them what the
felony?
box ban is?
Yeah, so that's where they ask, the applications, on every job application,
Right.
the majority of them, they're
Right.
gonna ask you, have you ever been convicted of a
Right.
felony?
Right.
Now, we know what that's gonna do when you
Right.
answer.
It's gonna put the,
yes,
the
you-
employee in a biased state of mind.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
9 times out of 10, he's not gonna hire you.
Absolutely, and the thing about it, man, is once a person, man or woman, cause we gotta also talk about the females.
Yeah, yeah.
There's a lot
All
of
of us together. That's
population of
right.
females
That's right.
that's doing time, you know. And to be able to get out and not be able to get gainful employment, man, is actually a violation of human rights.
But I mean,
Right.
you think about these gun laws, okay? Everybody
Somebody
can tote
lying
a
to
gun
somebody.
except for a convicted felon. A convicted felon has a family.
Absolutely.
Right.
Even 9 times out of 10, that went and tried to pay his debt and change his mind, but he can't even protect his family, let
Absolutely.
alone get a job to feed him.
Yeah, I was not actually, a supporter of, the gun control laws as they was putting it forth by Obama administration, because the only people that it targeted was convicted felons and people with mental disorders.
Right.
Now, you can be a convicted felon because you have past due child support, bro.
Right.
Very delinquent child support.
Right.
Right.
You could be a convicted felon over third offense DUI.
Right.
You
Right.
could be a convicted felon for, just petty larceny, three counts of petty larceny becomes a
Right.
felony, right?
Right.
So why in the world, what threat are people like that, to carrying a gun? Even when you come down to violent offenders, do you know people with murder charges and manslaughters are the less to recidivate?
Right.
Yeah,
They don't, when they get out, going
And that's
back
the
to-
reason
yeah,
why you
slim
vote.
down.
That's why it's important to vote.
For
Yeah.
those who can.
Can vote.
Right,
Because that
right.
same thing applies to people as it pertains to a vote.
Absolutely.
But this law was passed, what, 1968?
For
for the
Convicted
convicted
felon,
felon
you're
law.
right, you're right,
It was
right.
passed in 1968, so this been going on for a long, it was targeted way back then for blacks.
Right, right.
It was targeted
But then you gotta look
African
at
American.
who are the prisons most packed with.
Absolutely.
Black,
Absolutely.
African
Disproportionately,
You see what I'm
man.
saying? And they make up on what, 13 or 14% of the whole population.
Well, the
of the United States
entire black population
is
of
forced.
the country makes up 13%.
Right.
But when you're talking about black male, we make up less than that.
Right.
You see what I'm
Because
saying?
and
But then-
80% in the prisons.
Right, absolutely. So that's
yeah.
very disproportionate, man, when, and so you see what's going on. So that's why, when we talk about, paying the debts, man, we never repay the debt. And that has a lot to do with how this country was founded, man.
Right, right.
We're gonna talk about real change, man. We really need to talk about a constitutional convention.
Right.
Because the Constitution has no respect,
Right.
for black people.
Well, it was written. It wasn't written without black people. And we wasn't a part of that.
Yeah, it was their FUBU document.
Right.
It was for them, by them,
Yeah.
and so we need to now have a constitution that's all inclusive, man.
For everybody.
For everybody, man. And if you ain't talking about that, you really ain't talking about nothing.
Yeah, you wasting
Yeah,
time.
when your foundation is jacked up, man, I don't care, you can't build on no bad foundation. So every law right now that people are trying to promote, at the end of the day, it's built on a bad foundation. So that's why I won't go anywhere.
What time is it?
Well,
Gotta
yeah,
pay the bill.
like, we got to pay the bill. We're going to answer a few phone calls, but I'm going to go to the phone calls after I say this, and I'm going to say this. I'm going to ask you, do you think this is a fair statement about this? Somebody lied to somebody.
Yeah.
Somebody
no doubt.
lied to somebody.
Well, that's true.
Right,
That's
right.
true.
Well,
Before
going
they
back to
do
the
it.
foundation, it started off a lie. You know, and they continue.
There you go. There you go.
Yeshua, Jesus said, you know, they're a liar and the father of lies and
Right.
stuff, and the
So
truth is
call.
not in them, right?
Right.
So,
Y'all
you know,
hear? Y'all hear?
Tell them about the school
Get
in
some
Africa.
calls in.
Yeah. So in Africa, I went back. Me and members of the NAACP, we went back first of all on the 400-year return of the prophecy of Abraham. President Nana Akufo-Addo, president of Ghana, made the call for black people and in the diaspora to return home, saying that it was prophesied that after 400 years
Right.
that we return home. So we took a trip back in 2019, and man, my spirit got full, man, walking back through the door of no return, you know, so an epiphany, you know, the ancestors spoke to me and told me now it's time to move on from this mayor stuff and work on bringing your people back home. So long story short, I moved to Tanzania, where I'm partnered with a hedge fund, and we have a preschool and primary school there. And I'm also president of a private college where we're teaching our people business skills there in Tanzania. But I was also made a chief in Ghana and outside of Kumasi, the Ashanti Kingdom.
Now I want everybody. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, the thing of it is, like, the topic is a debt that you can never repay as it pertains to convictions in the prison system.
Right.
Now, there's a big difference between the price of something and the cost of something.
Right.
Us as individual men, we could probably pay the price for anything we do, but the cost of it is being away from your family.
That's right.
Watching your kids grow up on a picture.
That's
right.
You know, missing those good times of living in life.
That's right.
See?
That's right.
And these are things that you can't repay. And not only that, when you get out, it's hard for you to kind of make that connection in that track because of the disproportionate situation that the law put forth for the company.
You're already handicapped.
Yeah, so we're gonna open the lines to some callers. If you wanna call in, ask Brother Spoon some questions, you know, we here, the lines are open. I see you, Mr. Willie Harris. Look at it.
Willie Harris. That ain't the Willie Harris I know, is it?
Hey,
Hello, caller.
hey, Mr. Welcome to the show.
Hey, sweetie, this is Silky.
Hey, Silky, how you doing, Miss
Good morning.
Silky?
Good morning.
I'm blessed.
Silky,
I'm
Silky.
blessed. I would like to tell you guys, you all are doing such a marvelous job.
Oh,
I know
we are
back
honored.
way back.
Yeah, man.
I
We
know
are
his
super.
whole family. So
Good.
I
Yeah.
know that baby.
Yeah.
All right,
He's
the
one of
third
my
grade.
babies.
Yes, I am.
Man.
You gotta be proud of him.
I'm proud of that, and I'm proud of you guys too.
That's
Yes,
right.
man.
But I would like to say this, and I have to brag on her too. Her name is Charlotte Reed.
Okay.
She ran for mayor not long ago. I
Okay.
know this lady.
Right.
If the people had voted for her and put her in office, you would see a change right
ma'am.
about now.
Right.
And I know it for a fact, because I was going to help her.
Right.
And other ladies like me was going to help her.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
love Jackson, Mississippi. I didn't travel
That's right, I
across
love Jackson.
water just to get back to Jackson, Mississippi.
Right.
Yes, man.
I lived from every place, but I came back to help my people. And when I said my people, I mean everybody. I don't discriminate. But this is very simple, you guys. It's very simple
Yes,
to
ma'am.
correct Jackson, Mississippi, the crime and
Right.
everything.
Right.
Yes, ma'am.
It's just gonna take some women to do it.
Right.
Right.
Well, I definitely believe in black woman power.
Yeah,
You know,
uh-huh.
and And actually, if you ask me, they the closest thing to God. My wife, Ms. Harris, is serving as the mayor now.
The gentleman that men can't do it.
Right.
Right.
We have tried men for a long time now, and a lot of them have came up short.
Yes, ma'am.
Now it's time for the woman,
Mm-hmm.
and I want that black, any race that can do it,
Right.
Yeah.
you know. But we can get this thing straight if we really wanted to.
Right.
It don't take years to do it.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, you're right about that.
But
And
I really do appreciate you all.
We
As I
appreciate-
said, you all are doing a marvelous job, and I'm so happy for my baby. Okay?
yes, baby.
Appreciate
You guys are my baby.
Appreciate you.
I appreciate you.
Yes,
so we
ma'am.
say peace out.
Peace
Peace
out.
out.
See, I voted. Well, I couldn't vote, but I was in Fayette when Hillary Clinton was getting voted in for president.
Right.
And me and one of the girls, we got into it real bad because he was black like me. And the reason I was on what I was on about it because I was raised by a single mom,
Right,
a
right.
female,
I got you.
and she had 7 kids. She drove from St. Louis, Missouri to Chicago, Illinois, Jackson,
Mhm.
Mississippi. She did that for a number of years. We rode the Greyhound so many times.
Right.
Right.
So to see my mother, I know that she is exactly right.
Right.
A woman is the biggest attribute to
Yeah, my mom.
any situation
yeah.
that's going on.
Right.
So
Yeah, and so I want to touch on a bit of the psychological issues that happen. I'm sure there's some people that have already caught charges. You headed to jail. This is kind of an instruction thing that you're going to experience when you go in there. It's going to take you relatively 2 years to let go of the streets. You're going to be trying to hold on to stuff you can't keep. Your
Right.
girlfriend.
That's right.
she got on.
And when you walk in there, you one person, but once you get emancipated and conditionalized to being in that system,
Something got real, didn't?
yeah, they got rid. You finna change it to another person,
That's right.
Right.
and you gonna have to be conditioned. They gonna blink the lights for you to eat 2 times, do this 3 times. You pretty much you in a scientific project, and so once you in there and you exist, you're gonna become institutionalized. When you get out, it's gonna take you some gestation time because when you get out, your body's gonna be out, but your mind is gonna still be used to dealing with situations in there.
Yeah.
Right.
And I hope that makes sense to you.
Yeah.
That make a lot of
Because
sense.
it's deliberate programming.
Right.
Right.
And you come back out here, it's like you walking on Mars and you need that gestation time. You're full of testosterone. You've been in a micro society of men.
Right.
You know, it's different. Your aggression is different.
Right. Right.
So,
And don't get us wrong, Carlos. Don't get us wrong, listeners. We're not saying that everybody that's in prison don't supposed to be in prison. We know there's some people
you're
supposed to
right.
be in
Yeah,
prison.
Right.
it's some
So,
I hope don't never get out.
We also know some people that don't supposed to be in prison.
Yeah.
And it's people that come out of prison and
Yeah.
turn their life into
Right.
such a spoon right here.
Right.
I'm gonna call him spoon because that's what I've been
That's
calling
what I
him.
call him.
And look, when I met him in, I was going to make a complaint then with
ACLU.
Yeah, I was going to make a complaint then.
That's
Right.
That's
See,
right.
I was trying to fight then, but I didn't know how to fight.
That's right.
but okay, we got a caller coming in. Hello, caller. Welcome to the show. You on there?
Yes, I want to comment on you young guys. Having a great show this morning.
Oh, we are.
I was listening to you guys talking about the system, the prison system. But of course, a lot of people don't know that that's a slavery by another name.
Yes,
Yeah, indeed.
You tell
I
the truth.
agree
Go ahead and speak,
with
sister.
Indeed. Come on with it.
That they don't realize those were the laws put in place to keep us in slavery.
Right.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
A lot of people think that we're out of slavery when we're still slaves.
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
We are slaves.
Modern day slave.
And it was designed that way to keep us from growing.
Right.
Yes, ma'am.
And
Absolutely.
we don't know how. We got to learn how. And our young generation don't have a clue
That's right.
as
That's
what
right.
happened to the black race in this country.
Right.
Absolutely.
They having issues about the flag. They having issues about the Confederate flag. They having issues about you kneeling to the flag. The same flag that allowed you to be held a prisoner in your own home.
Come
Right.
on.
Right.
Come
And
on.
we are
They're
the
all the same
people
flag.
don't know how to teach
Yeah.
our young folks what they need to do to get out from under this slavery.
That's right.
Absolutely.
Man, I
To
was
be
in.
able to teach our black people
Absolutely.
what they need to do to get out from under slavery. And they don't know because their parents don't know. Nobody know their history. And if you don't know where you come from,
You don't
you
know
don't know
what
what
you're
you
doing.
know.
Come on with it. Come on with it.
Hey,
Second
come on, we
that.
have a service today.
Absolutely.
Come on with it.
Got to learn the history of your people. And if you learn that, you can move forward. But the young folks don't have a clue. They didn't teach them history in school.
Right.
They taught them white man wanted them to know.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It was dominated with the white system.
Absolutely.
But they don't know that this was a slavery in another name.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Y'all keep up the good work.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you,
Thank
Carl.
I will tell you that story.
That's a good point you bring up, because
About
if
the
you
flag.
learning the history, I mean, we examples right here
Mm-hmm.
of people that have re-revolutionized their mind to learn about history and to be able to come together.
Yeah.
And so she makes a valid point, and we all have to do it together. But let us be,
Yeah.
Mhm.
you know,
I told Julius, well, I think I was telling him a story yesterday, right quick, fast, because we got a couple of announcements to make. I was telling a story that I was 17, 18-year-old in jail, and I had this white attorney, and when he came up to me, I always knew his truck.
right,
And I looked on his truck. I told you I saw that flag.
right,
And I knew what that flag meant at 17, 18 years old, because our parents taught us
Right,
the
right.
history of black. We knew how to go. We sat and watched Roots,
Right.
Rosewoods, and
Right.
all the everything attaining to that.
right.
And I asked him two questions. I told you this. I said I asked him two questions before I fired him. I said I walked in and I needed him.
Right, right.
But I know I didn't need him. I needed somebody that wasn't gonna be him though.
Right.
I said, let me ask you, do you believe in that flag? That was the first question I asked. On the back of your truck, he said, yes, I do.
Oh,
I
yeah.
said, you believe in that flag? I said, no. I said, is that your truck with that flag on? He said, yes, that's my truck. I said, and the second question was, do you believe in that flag? He said, yes, I do.
Absolutely.
I said, well, it's time for you to go.
Yeah. Well, you know, well, she was right constitutionally. That's why I said we have to have a constitutional convention if we're gonna have real change. Because the 13th Amendment only freed us from slavery, but except in times of incarceration. Go read the Constitution,
Yeah.
and you will see that slavery was abolished, but there's an exception clause.
Well, they-
It says, except for in times of incarceration.
They just
Right.
So
took
if you're
slavery.
incarcerated in the U.S. legally, you're a slave.
Right, and
Right.
then they just
Yeah.
took slavery off the books in Mississippi in 1996.
Yeah, but
See.
still though, the Constitution, that's why I
Yeah.
say
Yeah,
it governs the land, all 50 states.
Right.
And that Constitution says that slavery is abolished except for in times of incarceration. So
Well, we-
that's why we gotta have a constitutional convention if we real about having change.
you got some announcements to make, Matt?
Yes, we want to talk about the toy drive up here at WMPR. We're having a toy drive. Families, I'm talking about anybody that want to help. Every kid need a toy. We got situations where we're doing these parties. These are not parties, but we call them parties for conversation. Block parties. We're coming to a neighborhood near you. We want y'all to be aware of this. We're gonna be knocking on doors because we need to know one thing: voting do count. There's a lot of people think voting don't count.
Oh, yeah.
That's why they sit at home and don't go vote.
Absolutely.
So you have to know that your vote do count, and I had to learn that.
Right.
So now, if I'm gonna be a part of the conversation, I have to know I got to get in the fight.
That's your
And to be part of this conversation, you got to get in the fight.
Right.
That's your
You can't
power.
sit on the couch and talk to the TV.
That's it.
Right.
Well, y'all, that's our show for the day. Up next is Coffee and Conversation with one of the Evans. I am
Wonderful.
Smoke D.
And I am Albert Batman Donaldson, and
And
I'm
we
good.
have Spoonio.
Spoonio, that'll do
We'd
it.
like to thank y'all for tuning in and listening. And we out.
Out, peace.
Man, y'all doing it, man.
Like some
Man, I'm proud of y'all, man. You see, man. And this only got what, second show?
Second show.
Man, listen, once it pick up, man, y'all keep putting it on social media. You know,
Yeah, that's how we document it.
yeah.
That's the only thing. We just glad, look, and everything that's happening, it's just happening. We ain't no,
That's
we
what-
on no radio.
That's what happened, man, when you decided to do the right thing.
Yeah, man, that's how we do
That's just what I always say, we try to do the right thing.
It's gonna come to you.
I don't say shit.